Hi crafty friends, Melissa Miner here. Thanks so much for joining me on YouTube. I am super excited to create another layout for the Shimmerz Paints design team. Now today I'm working with the gorgeous April Color Kitz, and here's just a quick clip of my unboxing, which if you haven't already seen it, I will leave it linked down below in the description box. This kit is so gorgeous. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on my layout. So what I have done is I've made an X in the center of my layout or my page, and I have some mixed media paper, cardstock, and I want to lay down some color and then paint over top of that. So what you'll see here on the screen is I have my 4 paint swatches laid out, and those are the ones I want to use. So for the yellow, I want to use the Mustard Seed-Vibez. For like the pink color, I want to use the Pip-Pip Cheerio. And then for my blue, To Be Blue-Coloringz. And then the green, Giddy About Green-Inklingz. So the ink that I'm laying down first, the first color that I laid down was Distress Oxide ink in the color Fossilized Amber. And then now I'm going in on the pink section and I'm using Picked Raspberry. And then for the blue, it's kind of like a bluish purple, but I'm going to go ahead and lay down the Blueprint Sketch Distress Oxide. And then for the green, I will use Cracked Pistachio. Now, while I'm putting down this color, I want to mention that if you shop on the Shimmerz Paints website, you can add my name, Melissa Miner, to the notes section of your order, and Shimmerz will send you a free paint. Now you can add my name to every order, and each time you'll receive another free paint. So I always appreciate when you do that, as that helps me out just a little bit as well. So thank you. All right, now I'm laying down that color of Cracked Pistachio, and that's a real faint green. In case you're not aware, you can purchase the color kits from Shimmerz Paints. You can get just the paper kit, which has like the paper and the ephemera. You can get the paint kit, which has all the paint colors, or you can get what I like is the complete kit, and that has everything in it. So you get the ephemera, the Shimmerz dots, the puffy stickers, the coloring sheet. There's also a cut file. You get all the paper, the paint, you get everything. So I'm going to put down some color here. This is that Mustard Seed-Vibez, and I just put a little bit of water onto my paper first, and then I sprayed the Mustard Seed-Vibez all around, and now I'm going in with my paintbrush and just kind of mixing that color. I'm going to spray on here the To Be Blue-Coloringz. So we'll get this one mixed around, and then I'll go ahead and put down my other colors here. So that looks really, really pretty. And I'm going to put my picture in the center, so I'm not really worried too much about the center. And then I am going to be covering this up with some pattern paper also. But this is giving the foundation for my layout. And I love the color that it brings. And this design style is a little bit different for me today, and I'm super excited to try this. All right, now I'm laying down the Pip-Pip Cheerio-Shimmerz. And all of these colors just are so pretty and shiny. Now the Colorings doesn't have the sparkle in it, but the Inklingz has the coloring, has the sparkle, the Shimmerz, and then the vibes. And I wish the camera would pick up the color, but it just doesn't. But it's so, so pretty in person. So I just finished, I'm wrapping up here the Pip-Pip Cheerio. And I'll add some splatters, and then I'm going to move on to the Giddy About Green-Inklingz. Now the Inklingz, these come in the new pans. Oh, it was several months ago that Shimmerz introduced this new Inklingz pans. And so all you do is you add a little bit of water to them, and then you can mix them around. Now I also have a link down below in the description box of how I like to store my little paint pans. And the ones that I order on Amazon have a little magnet that you can add to the bottom. And then I like to write the name of the color on the side of the little pot there that it's in. So that's always helpful when you're going back to look at your paint colors. All right, so the only thing I have left to do here on this coloring portion here is just to add some splatters of that Giddy About Green-Inklingz. So I'll finish this one up, and then we will move on to the pattern paper. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside to dry, and I will be right back. All right, so I set that aside to dry, and off camera, I went ahead and cut some of the pattern papers. So I cut several of the pattern papers into 4x4 squares, and then I cut those in half diagonally. And then what I did is I took some black cardstock from my stash, and I cut the black into squares to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then I cut those diagonally, and then I matted each of the pattern papers. Now I'm pulling in some of the ephemera. Now the cute little sun and this little flower I put down, and some of these little flowers are from the coloring sheet, and some are from the pattern paper that had the black and white flowers. And so I just colored some of these off camera using the paints that came in the color kits, and then I fussy cut them out. So I'm thinking I want to add just a little piece of ephemera to each of my little triangles here, and in this bottom right corner, I think I want a journal. So I'm going to do some gluing off camera here, but this is how I think the direction I want to take my layout. Now I did go ahead and stick down my title of Yay, and I used some thickers, and now I'm going to glue down these squares. Now the photo that I'm scrapbooking today is myself, and here just about a week ago is effective. I received a promotion at my day job. Believe it or not, I work too. I know I make a lot of scrapbook pages and a lot of videos, but I do have a real job, and I have worked in the healthcare industry for 23 years now. It's so crazy, and I'm just very thankful for the opportunity to keep advancing in the company. So I have a new title of Senior Business Consultant. So I'm super excited to start the new position and to keep growing in my career. So that is what this page is going to be about. And I finished gluing down all of my squares, and then off camera, I did go in and add some foam to each of the little ephemera pieces, and I glued those down. And then I wrote my journaling down there on that bottom piece. And I did take one of the pieces of ephemera and I just cut it down, and it was like a little journaling spot, and I wrote my journaling on there. So I like the way this is looking, but I think it needs some more black. Since I added the black behind the pattern papers, I do want to add some black splatter. So I'm pulling in Black Hole. That is another Shimmerz paint. I love this one for black splatters. Now, I was showing you a picture. I printed my picture, and I print all my pictures at home on the Epson PictureMate 400, and it's the photo paper that I used. It had something on it, and so I usually just pull them right out of the package, but this one was loose, and so it was like a boo-boo photo. So I'm using it to flip over my photo so that I didn't get splatters on it. So that worked out really nice. I always save my mess up photos or photos I'm not going to scrapbook and use them in this way so that I can cover up my photos. Now I'm bringing in the cute little flowers that are in the bonus bundle. Now this is an add-on that you can add to your kit. And in the bonus bundle, there were these flowers, and they are so pretty. And I was thinking, well, what about if I place them in the center of each of my flowers? And I like that. So I went ahead and glued those down off camera, and this is my final layout. So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. If you don't already follow me on Facebook and on Instagram, I would love for you to follow me on those platforms as well under Cards by Melissa Miner. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!